This is our tutorial webinar. Here on Tuesday, we have one right now scheduled Tuesday and Thursday at this time. And the primary purpose of this is to help some of you who are fairly new to high percent trading, or who may be here on a trial, or may be here considering at either taking a trial or subscribing. And then, of course, there are some members who are here who may just want to pick one thing up, perhaps that they're either unclear of or missed, or maybe just need a refresher. So that's the purpose of this. Now, I want to say this, and kind of the feedback that I get is don't make this too complicated for yourself, okay? And what I'm saying is this. This was the first time that we offered the full trial download, and there's a lot in that trial. There's 26 or 27 different indicators, 6 or 7 different auto traders in there, the ability to do statistical analysis, some really great interactive indicators like the scoring of price and time, the quarterback, just a number of things. And so for somebody to try to pick all this up in a couple of days or even a week is just not going to work. So don't try to do that. What you really need to focus in on is just simplifying this down to a couple of things, because those couple of things for a good majority of you is going to work and work very nicely for you as far as your ability to analyze markets, take trades, and have everything work for you. So that's what I want to concentrate on today, is what it is that I'm talking about here, so that everybody can get the most out of this. All right, so the first thing is everybody should have downloaded the chart template. That's the HPT chart template. Let me show that off the website. Okay, so first thing we need is, if you go to the website and on the users download section, when you scroll through it, obviously you're going to download and import these packages, but what I'm referring to is over here, and that's this, the HPT chart template. All right, you need to download that, and then as I showed before, and as the video shows, you go to your documents folder, and let me show that. NinjaTrader 7. So you go to your documents folder, NinjaTrader 7, templates, chart, all right, and hpt.xml. If you have a parentheses paragraph 1 or parentheses paragraph 2, you need to take that out, because sometimes your NinjaTrader is not going to allow that. So it's hpt.xml. All right, that's what you need. Then these other series of templates here and here, these are your Octopus templates, okay? There's about 24 or 25 different templates in here to run the Octopus. At the beginning, you don't need all of those. All you need to really concentrate on are 2 or 3 of them, and I'm going to show what those are. And just forget about the rest for now, unless you really want to get into all the nitty-gritty here. But we're going to simplify this down for everybody, because that's the important part. Okay, so I want to show what to do next. The next thing that you need to do, so everybody's charts looks the same, is open up a chart. And the way you do that is you go to the NinjaTrader platform, control panel, go to File, New, Chart, and I'm just going to open a YM chart here. All right, YM. I like the HPT bars. Everybody's HPT bars should say 131 on them. All right. I like to load 10 days of data. I use the default 24/7 template. That way you get all the bars for the last 10 days. Right, and here's where you load your chart template. All right, what you need to find is the HPT6, I'm sorry, the HPT template, the one I just talked about, HPT template right here, and then you just hit OK. All right, that's going to bring up your template. That's the first thing that, that you need to do. That's going to bring up your template. When that template comes up, it has the following look and it has the following indicators on it. It has the HPT6DT, that's this dynamic trend. That's the one that shows us the trend and shows us the bands. It has the HPT6 profit. It has the boxing indicator, the HPT6 boxing indicator, and it has the HPT6 waves. That's this indicator, and it should be defaulted to 4443. And you can turn this on or turn it off. If you don't want to see the colors, just turn it on, turn it off. If you don't want to see the wave lines, you can turn it off. It's all interactive in here. All right, that's your standard chart template. Notice there's nothing else on here. Okay, now you'll notice that when we're in the room, I also have an S2 indicator down here. Okay, so now what I'm going to show briefly is how to add the S2 indicator and or add the HPT6 waves 2 indicator as well, and then how to save a second template. So you'll have both. So what I do is I'll right click and go to indicators. Okay, I'm going to scroll down once that happens. And I'm going to find my HPT6 S2 indicator. That's right here, HPT6 S2. I'm going to hit new. Now notice this is using the 12 range. The ones that we're showing in the room are 6. So I go ahead and change this to 6. All right, range size 6. Now notice this is going to put it in a new panel. Okay, it's going to put this indicator in a new panel. So I'm going to hit OK, and we'll see it come up. And now there are a couple questions here that I will circle back to. All right, so now you see the S2 indicator here at the bottom. Okay, S2 indicator is down here now at the bottom. There's one more that you can add on here if you want, and that's the HPT6 waves 2 indicator. That's going to be on a 12 range. So just as this wave indicator here was showing a 4 range, I'm going to add one that uses a longer term as well. That's the HPT6 waves 2, this one right here. Here, new, there's nothing to do in here, but I do want this to match the panel that I have my S2 in, and that's panel 4. So I'm going to say put that in panel 4 as well, so it's going to put it right here, and then hit OK. Then you'll see the look of this. All right, so that's the chart in a nutshell. Now you can save this template. You can click on Templates, Save As, and in this particular case, I've already saved one. I've shown some of you how to do this already. I have called this the HPT S2. HPT S2. And then you hit OK. So now you have 2 templates. Whenever you bring a chart up, you can either bring the first one up that I showed, which was the default, or you can bring the new one up that you've created here. All right, so now I'm going to stop before we do anything else. I just want to stop because again, the purpose of today is to simplify things down for everybody. All right, so that everybody can be on the same page as to how to come in initially and use this. Okay, once you have this, and especially once you become a member, then you're going to want to get off into other types of things. There's other templates here. There's other types of trades. Uh, you'll, as you get more comfortable with this, if you want, and you don't have to, you'll start building your own in here as well. There's going to be certain indicators that you like that I'm not showing right now that will enhance your trading. And the more familiar you get with this, the more you'll see that. But for now, the best thing to do is just keep it simple. All right. So that's it. Now I'm going to stop and see if there's any questions on what these indicators are doing right now before we move on here. Mike asked, the range size refers to what? The range size, Mike, I guess from your question on the S2 indicator and or the HPT6 Waves 2 indicator, right? It's referring to another data series that's out there that's not showing on the chart, okay? And it's looking at 6 range bars and or 12 range bars or whatever that you're picking in there, okay? So just because we're showing this on the chart, right, these down here are looking at much longer, I'm not going to call them time frames because it's not based on time, it's based on range. If you were to put like a 6 range chart up and or a 12 range chart up, that's what these are looking at down here, okay? Jim said, where can I get info on how to read the S2 indicator? Well, basically, Jim, what you're looking at is as follows. Okay, we're in an uptrend right here because the trend is green as determined by this mid-band. Okay, what you're looking for in this case is for the S2 indicator, that's this indicator right here. All right, if you can get both of these below this threshold, and right now the threshold is set at 20 over here. All right, and the reason it's set at 20, I'll show it, is this. It's got a lower boundary and an upper boundary. It's set at 20 and 80. And if you, when we look at the Octopus, if we go in there, you'll see that these thresholds are in there and that you can change them. So what it's basically looking at, among other things, is when we're in an uptrend and we come down and this threshold gets right here, okay, now it's looking to take a trade based on the other filters as well. Okay, that's what it's looking at. Conversely, again, we came down, right? We dropped back again. This is the red one, the fast one. This is the red one here again. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at one, the other, or both. That's depending on what you want for the trade. Now, the way the Octopus works, and I'll come to that, is it'll work either or. Okay, so that's what it's looking at, and it's trend specific. We're in an uptrend, so we're looking for those setups. If we move back here again, right, we were in an uptrend. You see how this dropped below the value, so that's what it was looking for. We ratcheted higher, we pulled down again. Here we both got our values here. That's what it's looking for. That's how you read it, Jim. Now does that clarify for you? Is it a divergence trade? No, it's not a divergence trade. It's basically telling you that based on statistical study and analysis, when those indicators get into those conditions, along with the other filters that are being run here, those have been historically very good setups. Those are good setups in the market. Casey asked, do you want them to cross or go below? Casey, some traders wait for the cross, okay? And actually in the Octopus breaks, one of the logic conditions is a cross. So part of that's built in, but you don't have to wait. If you wait, you'll generally get in later, okay? Which for some traders is okay. For other traders, they want to get in a little bit early. It's up to you as to how you want to handle this. But again, in keeping things straightforward, the logic will look at both of these in the Octopus. Yeah, Stephen likes to use the crossovers for buys and sells. He likes those. He does a lot of analysis on this. It gives good signals. You're going to come in late, but the other side of the coin is when we start to get a dropping market and eventually get a trend change, it won't signal a trade. So it'll keep you out. CC said, is this an Octopus trade? Let me explain, CC. When I get to the Octopus, I'll explain what it does, okay? Because there's not just one trade in there that it takes. And I want to get to that and explain that. But again, keeping in the spirit of what we're talking about, I want to keep this fairly straightforward and easy for everybody at the beginning so that we're not looking at a whole bunch of different things. Okay. Mike said, so you match them both to be a 6 on which one, Mike? Remember the S2 indicator, which is these red and green ones, these are on a 6 range, okay? This wave indicator down here, the one that's doing red and blue, that's working on a 12 range, okay? Now, I could match that to a 6 if I wanted. So if instead of here, where it says 12, 12, 12, and 4, I could say 6, 6, 6, and 3, and you'd see the difference here, okay? You would see the difference. Okay, so far so good, everybody? Shown how to do the chart, how to put the first template on, and how to create a second template if you want it. Now notice, there's no Octopus indicators up here right now. There are no Octopus indicators up here yet. So far so good, right? I just want to stop and make sure that there's no question from anybody. Okay? All right. Once you have that, then what you can do is right-click on the chart, go to Indicators, and then let's find the HPT6 Octopus 717S Final. I'm going to go New, and I'm going to hit OK. That's going to put it up on the chart. Okay? Watch what happens when it comes up on the chart. I know there's specific questions that everybody's asking, and I will circle back to that. There will be time on that. Okay, such as trade setups and things like that. All right, now the Octopus is there on the chart. Now notice there's a lot of trade arrows that are taking place here. Okay, this is not the one that we're using. All right, if you click on this tab, it tells you this is the default. Okay, the default is also known as the standard. I could just as easily say standard. Okay, and if I did load from file, so that's the next thing you want to do. Once you put the Octopus indicator on here, right, that's not the one that you're going to run. If you go load from file, it's going to take you over to the list, okay, of 23 or 24 or 25 different templates. You can see standard is one of them, okay? That's really what this is. But that's not what we're going to do. If you want to run the accelerator that we run in the first hour of crude or the first half hour of the equities, that's called the HPT6 Octopus 717 Profit 2. That's the accelerator, the Profit 2. That's the accelerator, okay? So there's a lot of templates in here, and some of you know where to see the differences on these. If you go to the website, there's videos that cover every one of these and tell you the differences on each and every one of those. But for now, the purposes of what we're doing, that's probably 22 too many, okay? We just want to concentrate on 3 right now. We're going to concentrate on the Profit 2, which is the accelerator, all right? We're going to then also concentrate on The Alt W S2, the S2 Alt W2, which is this with a minor change, right? Also known as the breaks. I actually created one here, just known as the breaks. It's the same one, but the change. And the last one we're going to look at is deep retraces. We haven't looked at this yet. But again, keeping things simple. This is the profit 2. This is also known as your accelerator. So click Open, click Apply, and then reload NinjaScript. And then you're going to see the accelerator here. Is this written down someplace? Robert asked. No. As far as what to do here, how to do this, it's all in a video. I'll circle back to the website. It's all in those videos on the website, like the introductory video on how to put these things on. It's all down there. All right, so this is the accelerator right here. And if we go back to early this morning, starting at 6:30 this morning, right, in the YM. Now I realize we don't follow the YM in the market in the room, but a lot of you trade it. There was a short entry here, flipping to long, right? A second long re-entry here, flipping to short with, nice trade. Another second arrow here, short for a trade. The long got stopped out, and then this long caught the big move to the upside, and that brought us to 7 a.m. Okay, that was it. Now, question, what if the list does not show when you hit the load from file? So what you're saying, KC, is when you go to here and you say load from file, okay, are you telling me this list doesn't show at all, or the list shows and the one you want is not in here? Because that's two different things. The list doesn't show at all. Okay, that's because you haven't told it the proper path to look at. Okay, like anything in any computer, you need to tell it where to look. So at the beginning, what everybody should have done is when they downloaded these templates, and I'll go back to the website, and again, the videos talk about this, but if we go back to the website, and you downloaded these Octopus templates, this one and this one, that gives you all 25. What you should do is once you download it, it's going to go to your downloads folder, and it's a compressed zip, so you need to extract it. Extract the file, copy everything that's in there, and put them on your desktop, preferably in a folder. So you go to your desktop, create a new folder. I call them the Octopus templates on your desktop, paste them all in there, okay? Then when it comes up the first time for you to load from file, it may be looking someplace else, okay? You need to tell it up here to go to your desktop, go to the folder, and do that. That's how you do that, okay? That's how you find it. That makes sense, right? That's how you do that. Now I realize, some of you know how to do this. Some of you are not real familiar with working with computers and things like that, and that's why we're doing what we're doing here, because for some of you it comes really easy. For others, not so easy. But that's where you go to do it. Now, here's the other thing. If you do get here and you've got a list, but for example, you can't find the profit 2 in the list, right? But you show others, that means you didn't download it, or didn't bring it in off the website, because there's 2 downloads off the website. There's this one and this one, so you got to bring both in. All right. Now I know I'm keeping this generic right now, and I know I haven't gotten to some of your specific questions, but I promise you I will. So if you want to keep it coming. So yes, the profit 2 is the accelerator. Okay. You can rename this if you want. I'll show you how to do it. So you click open and apply. All right. Now you've got it. Once it's in here, if it makes it easier for you, you can rename the whole thing. I can just call this the accelerator. All right. Accelerator, apply settings, save to file. I might even have one called this, I don't know. And I'm just going to use this and then just name it accelerator, not accelerators, accelerator. All right, and save. And now it's saved. Up, showing the website. Great, so I need to go back. Wonderful. Okay, so let me do it again. Load from file, profit 2, open, apply. All right, now you can change the name up here and save it as another one. That's the accelerator. The reason I'm showing this is later on, you're going to take these templates, whatever your favorites are that you like to work with, as you get more involved in this, you can tweak them out to add things, subtract things, change the thresholds, change the way it goes. Believe me, you may not think you're capable of doing that now, but I pretty much guarantee you in a month or month and a half, when you have this and are working with it and trading with it and seeing it, you'll have your own thoughts on how to tweak this out to better fit what you do. Just like Steven does, he likes crossovers, so he's built that into his templates. All right, so anyway, that's the accelerator. Do apply, then you can say save to file. All right, here it is, and then you can say save. I already saved it when I was frozen on my screen, but save to file. I already have it. Do I want to replace it? No, because I already have it. Okay, so that's the accelerator. Any questions on that one before we move on? That was number 1 of 3 templates that I want to show here to keep things simple. Any questions on that one? Are we good? Anybody need it? All right. Now let's talk about the breaks. I've showed this before. Some of you have done this, others have not. Let's talk about the breaks. So if we want to do the breaks now, and that's the one that we use after an hour of the crude oil, or generally after a half hour of the pit open in equities. If there's a major report, we can go longer. Okay, major report, we can go longer if we want. I mean, here's a good example. It will continue to work beyond the half hour in the equities. Okay, we've just found that the probabilities are that you're better off doing something else after that. But as you saw here, this was a great trade after 7 a.m. You know, you had your following the 2-arrow rule. You got short here, and here's your second arrow. You got long here, here's your second one here. So you're going to ignore this and this. This takes us beyond 7 a.m., but still a nice short trade here and another one here. So it can continue to work. And there's nothing cast in stone that says you have to stop trading this at 7 a.m. Some of you may continue to trade it. I know a lot of traders that trade this in the European session. All right. But anyway, not to digress, if we want the breaks now, you can put a second one up here. All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a second octopus up here. So I'm going to go to indicators, And I'm going to put a second octopus up, just like the first one. Remember, when it comes up, it's going to say default on it. That's what it's going to say. So I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to load. This is all right. So now it's loaded. All right, but this one's what? This one's the default. So I want to add the breaks. So I'm going to do load from file. All right, now the breaks is not called that on what you have. The breaks is the HPT6 OC717 S2 Alt W. Okay, that's the breaks. And I'm going to show how to put this on. I'm going to show how to make one change to it. Okay. And then you can rename it and save it again. So I'm going to click open. Right. And here it is. All right. The one change that we're going to make, because I didn't want to have people taking counter trend trades on a trial, this one will also make a counter trend trade if you want, is we go to Octopus 2, right? And we're going to move down here to this indicator down here starting at 51. And everything from 51 on down, if it's checked, uncheck it. So uncheck it, uncheck it, and uncheck it. All right, so everything from 51 down, uncheck it. Left click apply, right? Go back to the common settings. Change your name here if you want now. I'm going to type in breaks, B-R-A-K-E-S, okay? Apply, save to file. Notice I already have one, all right? But you can name it that and click save. Okay? Everybody on the same page there? I'm going to stop again. When we put the trial out, we really didn't anticipate that everybody would pick the name up, the accelerator, and the brakes. If we did, we would have named them that coming out of the box. In subsequent releases down the line, we will. That clears it up? Okay, so here's the thing. We get the questions asked. What is the difference between Octopus 1 and Octopus 2, right? Okay. Before we do that, let me just point one more thing out, okay? When we're in the room, remember that we talk about running the accelerator, which is the profit 2, for a certain period of time, and then we turn it off. The way you turn that off, this is the accelerator, go to Octopus 1 and unclick this. Go to Octopus 2 and unclick this, because that just tells you it's whether it's on or off, and click apply. That's all you have to do. You don't have to reload it. If you reload it, it'll not show the trades anymore. All right. And if you want to turn on the brakes, then you use your brakes and turn them on. Turn this one on, turn this one on, apply, and you can just run it forward in real time. That's how you do all that. Okay, now, good point. You never ever, remember how we created chart templates? right? We started with the HPT chart template, then we went and created the HPT S2 template. You never want to create a template. You never want to do this. You never want to go templates, save with an octopus indicator on your chart, okay? That's the kiss of death for the octopus. That's like taking the octopus out of salt water and putting him into fresh water. He's going to die. You cannot do that. If you do that, it's going to preclude generally your ability to load these files or for it to read properly, okay? So again, remember, the kiss of death for the octopus, never ever create a chart template with it on there, okay? Shoot, did the wrong thing here, hang on. I hit this by mistake. I need to get my chart back up. Too quick with my mouse. And yes, Pat, and I'll talk about that one in a minute because you had a question about that, and I'll show that. Okay, everybody good? Notice running the running the breaks here in YM. Earlier on, there was one trade here, and then the second one down here, and then if you needed to take this trade, you could, but that was your trade here. There's one more template that's a good template that we haven't covered much, okay? And remember when we talk about first time retraces to the mid-band, first time retraces to the phantom, deep retraces, we talk about that in the room, right? That's one of the core tenets, one of the core bread and butters. There's a template in there that will enable you to do that. If I come to here and do load from file, it's this one right here, the deep retrace template, this one. This is the third one that I'd like you to concentrate on. And you can forget about the rest of these for now to keep things simple, okay? So all you're looking at is the profit 2, which is the accelerator, the breaks, which we just created, and the deep retrace. This is the deep retrace. I'm going to do open, I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to reload. Reload Ninja Script. While we're waiting on that, CC asked, what does the octopus indicator look like on the chart? Okay. The octopus indicator itself is a shell. It doesn't look like anything. Okay, if it looks like absolutely nothing. What it's doing is looking at all of the other indicators that you've told it to look at in here. Okay, it's looking at all the other indicators in here. And you don't have to have any of these indicators on your chart. So all these visual indicators that I have here, you could take them all off and you'll still get the same trades. Okay, so the octopus is not an indicator that you see. It's like an invisible shell working in the background, with the exception of one thing. There is the trader, where it says the octopus trader. If I click on the chart trader tab, this is it over here. Okay, so that would be the only thing that you would see on the chart that would let you know that it's on there. Okay, so now I see that what your question was there, CC. It's not an indicator that you visually look at because it's looking at everything else that you're telling it to look at. Brian said, does anything get turned off on deep retrace? Good question, Brian. Let's take a look here. And that leads me to the next series of things here, and that's a good point, and this is what I would do, and I'm glad you raised that. Okay, notice on deep retrace, it's got Octopus 1 and it has Octopus 2. Okay, Octopus 1 is producing the black arrows. Octopus 2 is producing the red and blue arrows. My preference is, and this is what I recommend, turn off Octopus 1. I'm sorry, turn off Octopus 2. Turn it off. You don't want blue and red arrows. All you want are black arrows here. Left click apply, and I'm going to right click reload. Now watch what happens when I do that. All of these blue arrows are going to be gone. This is going to be gone. This is going to be gone. These two are going to be gone, and this will be gone. But what you're left with is this, 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 and this, okay? I like those trades. Those are your deep retrace trades, okay? So watch what happens. So that was a good question, Brian, and I'm glad you raised that because this is the real preferred way, obviously, to trade, to watch the deep retraces. So there they are. Isn't that a lot clearer? It's only looking at taking trades at or below the midband in an uptrend or at or above the midband in a downtrend. Brian said, do you use the deep retrace during accelerator or during break period or both? Remember what we said earlier this morning, Brian, about not taking any retrace trades in the first 15 minutes after the pit open? And we said that for both crude oil and the equities? Well, that's what I do. Okay, so I won't use deep retraces here in the first 15 minutes after a pit open or after a major news event. Okay, and it's up to you if you want to use this in the first 15 minutes or not. You can have both up here. So you could have the accelerator up here and the deep retrace if you want. You can try them. Again, want to try to keep things simple though. That's why you have these three to work with. What I recommend that you do is open up two charts, make them both the same, and put the breaks on one and put the deep retrace on the other with this change. Okay? If you want to save this like it is right here with the change that we made, turning this off, then just call it a deep retrace 2. You could put a 2 back here. Right here, 2, apply, and then save. And now you have either one. I don't want to get into a lot of this because I want to keep the templates pure for everybody. If I start making all kinds of changes in here, and then some of you are going to wonder, well, you've got a deep retrace 2 and I don't have that. You know, you've got this and I don't have that. So I want to keep things fairly simple, but I recommend you do this. Okay? And those are the three that you should really just be concentrating on right now. The accelerator, the brakes, and the deep retrace with this turned off. Those are the best approaches. The simplest, they provide really good trades. They're not complex. All right. Here's some trades a little later on here. Short trade up here in the YM, long here and here, long here and here. Okay. These provide very nice trades. That's the deep retrace. Now, good. All right. Said there's a couple people saying this is very helpful. Now I can follow along. Now that you understand what we're doing here, okay? It becomes clearer, doesn't it? So we've taken a fairly complex scenario, boiled it down and making it a lot simpler to follow now. So again, if you just concentrate on these three templates, accelerator, brakes, deep retrace, just concentrate on that for the week here, and you'll see the trades. Okay, so now I'm going to circle back and get into some more of the finer points of the questions that you've asked. Okay. With Chart Trader on, what has to be clicked to take auto entries? Okay. Again, let me point out one thing for everybody. This will be very helpful for you. If you go to the users downloads website here on Hypercent Trading and watch these videos, the Octopus overview, the Octopus training video, okay, the mini trader, watch these videos and then also go over to the trial users download section, which we're not using for downloads right now because everybody's getting this off the members. Okay, but if you go over here, come on website, this video shows you how to import and download the files. Okay, it talks about how to import them, download them, save the templates, everything else. Okay, I want to show you a couple good videos. Here's a training video here. Here's the mini trader here. It'll tell you everything you want to know about that. This talks about the Octopus trader. Brian, on your question, with the chart trader on, what has to be clicked on to take auto entries? This whole video takes you through that. It tells you what to do. I'll show it real briefly, but this whole video goes into depth on everything. Okay, so I urge everybody to review these videos because that's why they're here. They're here to help you answer these questions. Okay, but quickly, in order to take a trade, using the Octopus trader, remember there's a trader built in here. This one, you just click on chart trader. Notice it says disabled. There's no ATM strategy. You have to have an ATM strategy. I'll use like the Octopus 2. All right, and now I could just click on the buy on, sell on. There's my entry. I don't know. Well, I know because I'm running deep retraces. I know that all we're going to get are up arrows right now. Okay, all we're going to get is buy arrows. But if we were running the accelerator, you can get either one. This will take whatever occurs first right now. Okay, whatever occurs first, it's going to take. Okay, that's how you do that. Kenneth said, does having two instances of the Octopus on a chart use a lot of resources on the computer? No, I haven't seen that at all, Kenneth. Not at all here. Some of you, okay, see how it actually took the trade here? And it's managed. This is just in Sim, just to show you. So it took the trade. It's managing the trade. I've got a couple of stops. I've got a couple of profit targets here and a stop, right? And that's how it's working. But again, the whole video will go into this for you, all right? The whole video up here. I want to show one other thing here. Well, Pat, save that question because if you're trying to put the mini trader on here, right, make sure that this Octopus trader's not on because you'll get an overlay. You don't want that. I don't want to go into the mini trader today. I'll cover that on Thursday. But there's another way to trade this. All right, let me keep circling on questions. Casey, you asked at 9:10 on a question. Do you want to re-ask the question? I didn't get to answer that. I missed it. Can we say the original file name for each of these again? Okay. Good. I will. I want to make sure I didn't miss something here. All right, I think I've got them all. If I miss it, let me know. Now, if I want another entry here, I can just click this entry again, or I can click multiple entries. That means if I get another bite out of the apple here, it's going to take it. Okay, see how we're getting an R already? I already know once we get a reversal bar, this is going to be another entry here. Anyway, oh, 910. Are you talking about in the YM contract, Casey? Yeah, that's over here, right here, right? That's what we're focusing on, right here. Yeah. Unfortunately, unless you're clairvoyant, we didn't get to the mid band. We didn't get any wave set up. You know, unless you're clairvoyant, you don't know that this was going to happen. So the answer is you would have probably missed this trade. You would have missed this trade. And that's part of trading. Yep, you missed the trade. You can't get every trade, right? And that's not what we want. Remember, there's plenty of trade setups here. You just want to be consistent in your approach every day. If you miss a trade and miss a big run, that's okay. You know, because for every one you miss, you're going to get one. So don't worry about that. That's not what you want to concern yourself with. Again, what the question was on these three original templates, what are they? So let's go look. Load from file, right? The accelerator is the profit 2. That's the accelerator, profit 2. All right. The brakes is the S2 Alt W2 with the change that I made on Octopus 2, those last 5. Okay. And lastly, the deep retrace, that's this one right here, right? And the one I'm showing now has Octopus 2 turned off. All right, Octopus 2 turned off. Now, let me say this. Some of you have taken advantage of this. You know, I do offer one-on-one coaching. My time is kind of limited. I can get one or two in a day, and that's pretty much it. But I do offer that. You know, it's a very reasonable, cheap price. It's $100 for the hour. It's recorded. That you have the recording. It fast tracks you in to what you want to do and how you want to trade. Okay, and I have found that people that are on trial, if they take that, they're light years ahead. If you're a member and you take it, you're light years ahead. Okay, it just, and I'm not trying to hawk it, believe me, because my time is pretty limited, and all I can do is like one or two of these a day. But I have found of the members, trial members, regular members, whatever, if they take it, they're light years ahead. It just fast tracks you in to what you need. All right, fast tracks you in there. That's available. If anybody wants that, let me know. Pat, I use more than one. Oh, you mean to trade with? Um, for the most part, I'm using the Octopus Trader because it's automatic like that. Yeah, I understand now. Okay, question from KC, how to read the waves. Okay, how to read, let me close this. How to read the wave indicator. Remember on the wave indicator here, and I'll scroll over here, this is a real short-term indicator, the first one, all right? Basically, it's looking at a 4-range bar, with a 3-tick tolerance, which means in order to change, right, red means the 4 range is in a downtrend. Once we took this out, that's what all of these waves are amounting to. Once we took it out by 3 ticks, it changed to up. Okay. Once we took this out by 3 ticks, it changed to down. Once we took this out by 3 ticks, it changed to up. Okay, that's how you read that. All right. Pretty much brought us up to our time. Are there any final questions that I can help anybody with right now today? Again, what you need to come away with, I think, on this is just keep things simple. Keep it simple. Just concentrate on those things. You can see here's it took this trade down here. It's trying to get this first profit target right here. The problem with this is it's right at this swing, okay? So a lot of times when I see this, it may be too late now, I'll just take it and drop it by a tick just to get under the swing, to get that scalp. KC said on the coaching, what do you need to know or not know to get the most? Well, what I do, KC, is number one, make sure that your computer is the computer we're going to do it on. I do a GoToMeeting just like this. You should have a mic and headset, have your charts up and ready, right? And then we can get right into it from there so we're not wasting a lot of time. And that way I can troubleshoot to see if you've got, let's say you can't get your template to come up, or let's say you can't get your charts to come up, or you can't get the arrows to fire. I can focus in right away on it. All right, so you see how it took the trade here. It's got one going right now, right? You can maneuver this around. If you want to go up to break even, you can go right here. If you want to take this profit target down to like under here, you can do that. That's the beauty of this. It's totally interactive here. But it's just managing it according to the ATM strategy that was selected here. You mean on the last one, Brian? I like custom trail. I like to use custom trail. If you're having a 3 contract though, remember the pocket runner? I would just go to negative of break even. The reason I say that is hopefully you would have gotten your scalp, you would have gotten your second target, okay? And now you're just playing what I call, you're using house money. If you take a couple tick loss on that big last runner, that's fine, but you want to stay in it. Try to get that 50 plus, 80 plus tick run. That's what I would do. That's what I do. Oh, yeah, I will generally, and I don't go to a pure break even, Brian. I go to a break even minus. I want to, if you watch, most trades that you enter will come back to your entry point before they take off again. Okay, so if you go with the pure break even, you're going to find you're getting stopped out a lot of times. Okay, Pat. Pat says, thank you so much for your help. See you tomorrow. Raven said, great session. See you in the room tomorrow. All right. Okay, everybody. So tomorrow we'll be in the room. What happened there? It hit my break-even stop, I think. No, it hit the profit target. Okay, I got it. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. Okay, this is going to be recorded. I will put it up. If there's any more emails, I'll try to get back to everybody today. We'll see everybody in the early session tomorrow. All right, and I hope this was of help. Bottom line is keep it simple, okay? There's a lot of stuff here in this pro package. There's 90% of it we haven't even talked about, okay? But just keep it simple. Just concentrate on these 3 that I talked about. These 2 chart templates, these 3 things. Concentrate on those and you'll be miles ahead. Last thing I wanted to show, when it goes when it's time for you to quit, okay? When it's time to shut down, go to your control panel, right? Do File, Exit, and it's going to say, do you want to save your workspace? Do yes to all. It's okay to save a workspace with the Octopus indicators on here or with the mini trader on here, okay? That's not the kiss of death. That's this Octopus stays in salt water when that happens, okay? So you can save your template, bad word. You can save your workspace, not a problem, okay? Always do that. That way, when you bring your NinjaTrader back up again, they'll all be here, okay? But again, the kiss of death is don't take the octopus out of salt water and put them in fresh water by doing this. Templates save as. You do not want to ever do that, okay? Alrighty, that's going to do it. Mark said an excellent session for new people well into the future. Yep, I think I'll keep this posted up there. All right, everybody, thanks for coming. Let's see everybody tomorrow, okay? Take care now. Bye-bye.